Good afternoon, all of you. I am Professor Shoma Sengupta, Kamla Nehru College, University of Delhi. Welcome to the series of lecture series on international business. Today's topic is globalization and international business, and we will start with the part 1. Now, the topics covered in my first part of the lecture is meaning and definition of globalization, components of globalization, elements of globalization. Meaning of globalization. To understand the concept of globalization, we have to define certain terms. Global means relating to the whole world. Globalization refers to the removal of barriers between the countries. Free movement of goods, services, people, resources, capital, technology and information between the countries. So this is globalization, where there are no restrictions in the movement of all these from one country to another. It is the process of increasing the interconnectedness in the global economy. It is the result of the phenomenon of convergence of tastes and preferences. In my first lecture, we have discussed how with international business, there is a convergence of taste and preferences. And the outcome of that is globalization, and it is further leading to the convergence of tastes and preferences. The term globalization was popularized by Theodore Levitt in his article in Harvard Business Review titled The Globalization of Markets, and later by many others like Thomas Friedman and others. Globalization is a centuries old concept. Though in India, we talk about globalization since the second generation reforms that happened in 1991. But it is an age old phenomena, and if we look into the history, history has witnessed exchange of goods between people belonging to different parts of the world from very early times. You must have heard about the voyages from the Europe to other parts of the world, and that's how they have discovered India and USA. For example, ancient India, that is the Indus Valley civilization, and Mesopotamia, which is the present day Iraq, engaged in trade in 3000 BCE. Another example is the Silk Route, which was an ancient trade route that linked China in particular and Asia in general with the Middle East and the Western world in 2nd century BCE to the 15th century. That's how from China, silk moved from Asia to Europe. Also, tea was exported from China to the other parts of the world. Globalization leads to cross exchange of ideas, thoughts, philosophies and culture, resulting in creation of a global village. Now coming to definition of globalization, one popular definition by the International Monetary Fund IMF is globalization is the process of increasing interdependence and integration among the economies, markets, societies and cultures of different countries worldwide, particularly through the flow of goods, services, investment, technology, data, ideas and workers. So, we can see the interdependence between the countries, and it is not only in terms of economic market, but also in terms of society, culture and also the political dependencies are there. And it involves the flow of not only goods and services, but investment, technology, data, ideas and workers from one country to other countries. Another observation by Anthony Giddens, who argued that globalization is not solely an economic phenomenon, but encompasses political, technological and cultural dimensions, as well as the economic ones, highlighting the increasing interconnectedness and openness. In general parlance, we believe that globalization is an economic phenomenon, but in the recent past, we have seen how it is not only economic, but it is political also, technological, and as well as it has a cultural dimension. Culturally, we can see the convergence of taste and preferences. Politically, we see how the balance between the countries is maintained because of globalization. Technologically, we can see how the technology is diffused in other countries very fast nowadays. In general terms, we can say that globalization is defined as a series of processes which results in products, people, companies, money and information being able to move freely to different parts of the world regardless of the national geographical boundaries. After understanding the term globalization, now we move on to the next heading, and that is components of globalization. If we see the components of globalization, it can be categorized into globalization of markets, globalization of production, globalization of technology and globalization of investment. We will begin with globalization of markets. We discussed that when we talk about global, the entire world is considered as a single market. Though we take care of the taste and preferences in every region, but nowadays many companies are coming out with global products catering to the needs and preferences of people living in different countries because there is convergence of taste and preferences. Domestic marketers of different countries are integrated and merged into a single market. Also, we have seen that mindset has changed. So, people are acknowledging that global products are there which can move from one country to another, and it is catering to the needs of every individual whether they are living in that particular country or any part of the world. Global outlook has emerged of the companies, and nowadays they are coming out with a marketing mix which is suitable for marketing the products in every country. So, examples of that is Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Now, why globalization of market is happening? The reasons behind it are as follows. The domestic market is not big enough. So, the companies which want to grow, they have to look beyond the domestic market and go into the global world. Adverse business environment may exist in some of the countries or the home country, and that's why the organization or the companies are feeling that they have better scope in other countries or in other parts of the world. Also, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So, to operate in only one country may be a risky proposition. To reduce the risk, many companies are going for different countries. They are operating in different countries. It also is done to increase the sales turnover and profits, and that is a very usual topic that when production will increase, the cost of manufacturing will decrease because of economies of large scale production, and if the prices are less, then your sales will pick up in other countries also. You have a greater demand because you may be catering to different countries. So, the sales turnover will increase, your profits will be higher, and that will be beneficial for the company. Also, to meet the demand for their products in the foreign markets. So, in some of the countries, the companies, the domestic companies might not be able to cater to the demand in the market. So, these foreign firms, they enter into those market and then they cater to the demand which has risen over the years in those countries. Domestic firms of that country may be unable to meet the demands for such products. Then another area is globalization of production. Now, this is very interesting because you know that companies are nowadays, they are locating their manufacturing facilities in different countries. In fact, they may be bifurcating the whole of the process of manufacturing, and different processes may be taking place in different countries. To take the advantage of the national differences in cost, quality and availability of inputs, It might be possible that in one of the country the raw material is available in cheaply or in abundance, or in some country the labor cost is very low or cheaper labor is available. So, to take the benefit of that, the companies are locating their manufacturing facilities in those countries. It is also helpful to reach different markets quickly. So, we find that we can move from production unit to the place of consumption very fast if the production is globalized. So, the reasons for globalization of production are to escape the restrictions of imports in these countries. So, if you locate your production facilities in those countries, so there will be no question of importing the goods from other countries to that countries. So, even if there are restrictions, but since you are manufacturing the product then and there, then there is no problem of restriction on import of goods. As you can see that Hindustan Lever Limited is operating even when globalization did not take place in India. So, it was a collaboration of Hindustan, it is a company which is an outcome of collaboration with the Lever Limited of USA. So, by that manner there was no question of restriction on imports. Another point is availability of high quality raw material and components in that country. Also the low cost of raw material, which we have discussed in the previous slide. Availability of skilled labor at low cost, and this is bringing many companies to India because we have skilled labor, and also the low cost of labor enhances the possibility of the foreign firms to increase their profitability. Liberal labor laws may be there in that country. So, in some of the countries the labor laws are either liberal or they are not implemented in letter and in spirit. So, in those countries the multinational companies are taking advantage of skilled labor at low cost. It also helps in exporting to other neighboring countries. So, if the production unit is located in a region where the demand is there from other countries beside the country where the production is happening, though it is helpful to export to those neighboring countries. Also, it facilitates quick delivery to such neighboring countries. So, the transportation cost will also reduce. It may be reducing the transportation cost and also the simplifying the logistics. So, other logistics are also there like warehouse housing and storage. So, that becomes simpler when the production unit is located near the places of the consumption. Maybe the consumption is happening not only in that country where the production is happening, but also in neighboring countries. Designing the products as per the taste and preferences of customers of that country and region will be possible. Now, you see that the Asians have a different taste and preferences. The Europeans may be having a different taste and preferences, and likewise the Africans and the Pacific region and also the North and South America may be having different tastes and preferences. So, if you are having your production unit in a particular region, the particular region shares a particular taste and preferences. You can produce products catering to 4 or 5 countries in that region. If we think about the SAARC countries, the most of the SAARC countries are having similar taste and preferences regarding certain products. So, if the production unit is located in any of the SAARC countries, it can cater to all the SAARC countries. So, this is about how the regional taste and preferences can also be taken care of if you are having production unit in that particular region. Then the next is globalization of technology. Now, technological globalization refers to the cross-cultural development and exchange of technology. And nowadays, with lesser restriction, technology is moving very fast from one country to another. Information technology has reduced the time and cost involved in the process of globalization. The speed with which culture is diffused has changed as a result of technological advances. sharing of ideas, information, goods and services through globalization is also possible because of advances in communication technology and the media. So, you are finding that because of technological advances, any new technology, any computer program which is invented in one of the country moves very fast to other countries. Beside that, other communication media, like if you talk about the movies, the film songs, all these move, they have a global presence because of fast sharing through IT in other countries. Reasons for globalization of technology is latest technology. One of them is this reason that it provides distinctive competency and it can produce high quality products at a low cost. So, the technology, when a technology is invented, so because of the superior quality and the low cost, it gets a global acceptance from customers all over the world and it moves very fast. Then technical collaboration or sell technology allow to use its technology on payment of royalty through joint ventures, acquisitions and mergers. So, when the foreign firms, they are you know that they invest in other countries. So, if it is in the form of new firm or a joint venture, we call it a greenfield investment and or FDI investment, or when it is acquiring an existing firm and technical transfer is happening or mergers are happening, then we call it brownfield investment, which we will discuss later on during the course of study. Then the next is globalization of investment. Investment of capital by a global firm anywhere in the world is known as globalization of investment or foreign direct investment, and it is motivated by higher productivity. So, why the foreign companies or financial institutions are investing in developing countries or less developed countries? Because there is a chance of higher profitability and the higher productivity in those countries. It is in the form of issuing shares and debentures, global depository receipts, joint ventures, acquisitions and mergers. So, we will discuss all these topics when we will discuss about the financial instruments in international business. Reasons for globalization of investment. There is an environment for FDI which has been created in many countries. So, previously, like in India, we used to restrict the investment of foreign firms and we have certain criteria, and also slowly when FDI was introduced in India, there was a certain percentage or percentage cap was there on FDI. But nowadays, as we need more and more funds for growth of the companies, what we are doing is 100% foreign direct investment in many areas. Also, to overcome limitations of export restrictions and licensing, this global investment is happening. As I discussed in the previous topic, that if you are setting up your business in a particular country and producing goods over there, then there is no question of import or export restriction on that company. So, that is why FDI is through FDI, what we are doing, we are setting up businesses in, the foreign firms are setting up businesses in other countries. Also, it helps to retain control because it is your own company. So, you can have control on decisions of that company. Government attracts foreign capital. Government is nowadays, all the governments in developing and less developed countries, they have realized that foreign capital is required for the development of that country, and that is why they are attracting foreign capital. Now, the next heading is elements of globalization. 4 elements we will discuss, and that is economic globalization, cultural globalization, political globalization and financial globalization. So, when we talk about economic globalization, this is characterized by the emergence of increased global flow of international trade and investment. FDI investment is one form of economic globalization. Liberalization and opening up of the many economies paved way for companies to operate internationally. There is an integration of the national economies which has taken place after globalization took place in many countries. This causes a ripple effect of upward and downward movement of one country's economy on the economies of other country. So, as we have said that there is an integration of national economies, it has a positive impact as well as a negative impact, that if something good is happening or some growth is happening in one country, the growth will it will have a ripple effect in another country. And then we will see the growth is happening in other countries also. If there is a recession in one of the country, it will move to other countries, and sometimes it results in global recession. So, it may have upward and downward movement from one country to another. Then global market, global production, global products and global corporations, these are the outcome of economic globalization. Creation of globalized business corporations like multinational corporations and transnational corporations are the outcome of economic globalization. There are many agents, and main agents of economic globalization are the companies which are growing and going global, the investors who do not mind investing in other countries, banks and financial institutions who have realized that they can earn more if they invest in other countries, especially the developing countries, private sector, again a form of corporate sector which is taking up this international business in a positive way. Then different nation and the states nowadays of the world, they are in favor of globalized world. Then international institutions are there which are monitoring, like the WTO, IMF, they are helping and monitoring the international trade, and all this is helping the economic globalization. Then the next category is cultural globalization. We have already said that nowadays there is a convergence of taste and preferences. Beside that, also the companies are taking care of not only the global products they are introducing, but they are taking care of the local taste and preferences. So, cultural globalization is a process of amalgamation of the global with the local. Now, the companies, the global companies, beside introducing global products, they are assigning a local flavor to the global products. For example, Mac Aloo Tikki burger, which is available only in a country like India, because to cater to the needs of Indian or taste and preferences of the Indian customers. Foreign serials are nowadays dubbed in Hindi, so that it get greater viewership. Many Turkish serials and Korean serials are nowadays being dubbed in Hindi. Then there are two aspects of this cultural globalization. One is homogeneity and another is heterogeneity. So, when we talk about cultural homogeneity, it is the foreign firms or the global firms, they believe that the people are having similar tastes all over the global economy. So, common global preferences for products of global brands are available nowadays in every country, like Nike shoes, Apple iPhone, Levi's jeans. So, you will find the same products. In fact, if you are going to previously, if you are going abroad, you used to do a lots of purchases of global brands, of multinational companies brands in those countries. But nowadays there is no such requirement, because those brands are available in India as well. Cultural homogenization is the outcome of the impact of the ideas and images that are able to travel globally. This is due to the development of internet and telecommunications. So, because of cultural homogenization, many multinational companies are having a single marketing mix for marketing their product in different countries. So, when we whether it is related to product decision, pricing decision, promotion decision, or place or physical distribution decisions, these decisions might be same in many countries, especially countries of a particular region. Then there may be cultural hybridization, which is a second aspect. Now here you are taking care of the local taste and preferences and amalgamating it with the global product. It is the adaptation of global products and ideas according to the local tastes and preferences. Assigning local flavor to the global products, for example, Mac Aloo Tikki burger, as I have said, that is one outcome of a cultural hybridization, or where you are taking care of local tastes and preferences. So, recently I visited Egypt and Morocco, and where there I found Ramadan special menu of McDonald's, and that is prevalent in many Muslim dominated countries. So, right now Ramadan is going on, so McDonald's have introduced special menu in these countries. Then political globalization is another aspect. It refers to the process of changes of rules, structures, political ideology of global governance. It happened more so after the World War, World War II, which has witnessed rise and fall of socialism, emergence of global and regional institutions of governance. Political globalization led to the strengthening of political relations among the countries. The government of different countries are going for multilateral agreements so as to have mutually beneficial relations. For example, you know that New Zealand Prime Minister is visiting India. So, India and New Zealand are entering into free trade agreements. Emergence of global and regional institutions of governance like International Monetary Fund, World Bank and World Trade Organization has happened. Trade and investment liberalization in many countries are happening. Emergence of regional trade blocs like EU, then NAFTA, which is now USMCA, ASEAN and SAARC has happened. Then the last one is financial globalization. Deregulation in financial sector in our country as well as in other countries has taken place. It has led to cross-border movement of capital flow. Investors can now increase their investment portfolio by investing in other countries. Companies can get investors for their projects at international level. Financial interdependency between the countries has increased as a result of financial globalization. So, we have talked about the FDI investment happening from the developed countries to the underdeveloped and developing countries. For example, the stock market drop in US will have an adverse effect in stock markets in other countries because of the integration of the economies. So, when we summarize, we find that we have discussed the definition of globalization, which is increasing interconnectedness and interdependence of nations driven by flows of goods, services, capital, technology and information across borders, leading to more integrated global economy and culture. Then we have discussed the components of globalization like globalization of markets, production, technology and investment, and elements of globalization: economic, cultural, political and financial globalization. With this, we have come to the end of the first part of my lecture. Thank you, students.